Hey, Mom.
Welcome to Missing Persons with Lonnie Love. We're opening today with the case that has the entire country and the NBC family on edge. Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie's of the Today Show's mother, vanished from her home on February the 1st. This isn't just a missing senior case. Police are calling it a targeted abduction. We're going to walk through the timeline of Nancy going missing up into the current status of her still being missing. And then we will segue our show into talking about the life of DJ Youngslade, the son of Little John, famous rapper from ATL. Let's get into the first talking point here, the midnight timeline and the pacemaker disconnect. Facts start off saying that Nancy was dropped off at 9:50 p.m. on January 31st. At 1:47 a.m., her doorbell camera was disconnected. Most chillingly, her pacemaker app lost connection at 2:28 a.m. Now, first and foremost, why was her doorbell camera disconnected? Anyone that want to go ahead and start chiming in with your notes, let's talk about this.
Okay, let's see. So, yeah, it's really weird.
Oh, let me.
Just one moment, guys. I think we're having some technical difficulties.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I was having a little bit of trouble. Let me see. I gotta mute this. Okay. So what are you guys' thoughts on this? With regard to just so we're right now we're just talking about the night she was abducted. Once again, to reiterate, it points to an armed intruder entering, and then the doorbell was disconnected, the pacemaker app was disconnected. I mean, I hate to talk about this part, but there was blood. The scene was kind of crazy. I don't know how far we want to go at this point because I know, but I mean, just talking about that particular night. Does anybody have any thoughts with regard to like what they think happened? Because this is, and we can go into more in like, we obviously there's been recent developments with regard to, suspects and all of that, but let's just discuss like how it all happened and some of that if anybody has any thoughts.
Okay, we're looking at the midnight timeline itself, right? So she was dropped off 9:50, but at 1:47 is when the doorbell was disconnected. So that sounds like it was something that was pre-planned. For I mean, who disconnects doorbells unless you purposely wanted to go there and do that, right? And as it says, her pacemaker app lost connection at 2:28. I didn't know much about pacemakers as far as the apps and stuff that's used, so I did a little digging just to look at how that's being used in this case. Um, so like with a timestamp, as far as using that at 2:28 a.m., it says that it's still a non-traditional use for a medical device like a pacemaker or insulin pump to be the central source of a forensic timestamp, right? But usually we look at phones or ring cams for the digital forensics. But they're starting to expand now with that. We're seeing a rise in medical evidence when it comes to like the pacemakers or even like the Apple Watches, those type of things. And when it comes to forensics being used. So in 2024, a Garmin watch heart rate spike indicated the exact second of a murder. So them using her pacemaker app being disconnected actually is very viable in this situation because it lets us know a timeline of when she was with them versus when she wasn't.
Yeah, so it looks like that would have left. Okay, so if the doorbell was disconnected at 1:47, motion detected at 2:12 a.m. So it had to be between 2:12 and 2:28 that they. I don't know. This one is really it's kind of crazy. I'm trying to process what happened and why. Because okay, if her son-in-law dropped her off, I don't know if it was planned. Do you think it was? Well, it had to be, right?
Yes, this all seems like it was calculated, like this was premeditated. And I mean, the doorbell, first of all, camera being disconnected, that's someone knowing that that could be evidence, you know. So they make sure that they take that out so that way when they go to make their move, no one can see what's happening.
I do wonder. I mean, you might be right, and they're already asking. Like, there's been ransom requests and all of this. I just wonder if um, they just happened to find this house and realized who she was, and then like maybe it was just a burglary. But I mean, it's possible that they targeted her. especially considering, you know, who she's related to. But anybody else have any thoughts on it?
Even if it was a burglary, did they take anything? I don't think they took anything but her.
Correct. At this point, all we know that was taken was Nancy herself.
Yeah, so I do think that it was definitely planned and they were watching her.
I am with you on that one. I believe that. Now, they had to have been watching or have some type of insight in order for them to be able to know where to go and disconnect this doorbell camera, right? And then for them to disconnect her pacemaker app. So that means that you were aware that she had a heart condition and that she had that pacemaker. Or at some point they found out that she did. Now, let's look a little bit more into these pacemaker apps themselves.
Because how would they know to even disconnect her from her pacemaker?
That's a great question, Coco. How would they know? So,
how would they even know she had one?
Right. Those are great questions right there. So, looking at pacemaker apps, right? Some of the ones that are out here are Medtronic's MyCareLink Heart, Abbott's MyMerlin, and Biotronic's Patient app. Now, it doesn't specifically tell us which one that she had, but it says that it enables patients to monitor their cardiac device, pacemaker or CRT-P, directly from a smartphone. So, thinking of this, if her app was on her smartphone, then that means that they either disconnected her phone, turned it off, or something of that nature where the app could not communicate with her pacemaker. It says these apps securely send data to clinics, track battery life, monitor physical activity, and allow for recording symptoms, enhancing patient mobility and peace of mind. Now, what if Nancy just wandered off, right? That could have been something that people thought. She wandered off without her phone or what so have you. The phone might have went dead or something of that nature. Okay, we're just not even look at the doorbell itself being disconnected, the doorbell camera being disconnected. But just thinking of the theory of what if she wandered off? Well, the presence of blood, like Mel mentioned earlier, and an armed suspect at Nancy's home immediately killed the wandered off theory. Mel?
Yeah, I definitely don't think she wandered off. I mean, obviously, all of this leads to somebody being somebody abducting her. There's also FBI footage that shows a suspect. So there's a lot of reasons that we can say that she just didn't wander off, including, like, I mean, obviously, yeah, the doorbell being disconnected. And the pacemaker. So I'm guessing that, I would guess that they shut off the phone to so that she couldn't be located, right?
Uh-huh.
Via her.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I'm gonna guess. Yeah. So I mean, with regard to that, it's pretty evident somebody took her. I would say, yeah, I'm gonna move away from the burglary, the burglary idea based on, yeah, what Coco said is accurate. But yeah, um, this is just, it's crazy, and it's sad to me. Like, she's an old woman. I'm worried. The fact that there was blood at the scene, I'm just not sure how to feel about it. And then let's talk about how long it's been now.
Yeah. And the blood was confirmed to be Nancy's blood. We do have a comment here in our clubhouse chat, and it says, was the camera disconnected or sabotaged, like covered? So from what the police statements is saying and all of the articles that we have read, it is given specific dialogue of it was disconnected.
I'm trying to see if I can find anything.
Okay, my thing with the disconnection of the doorbell, I have a Ring doorbell. The only way for them to disconnect it would either be to have had the tools to just pull it off and pop the battery out or cut her Wi-Fi. So I'm wondering, what did they do? Did they pop the battery out? Because it's not that easy, especially if she had a ring bell, to pop the battery out. Or did they disconnect her internet in all aspects, which would then make the ring camera itself go offline?
So that is a great question, simply only because it was 1:47 a.m. that the doorbell camera was disconnected, right? But it says that the pacemaker app lost connection at 2:28. That's a little less than an hour in between each other. So what happened in that time frame is where my mind is going to. Why, if it was a full Wi-Fi disconnect, then I would think that everything that's connected to the Wi-Fi would have been disconnected at the same time frame. But it seems like possibly her phone wasn't tampered with until almost an hour later. Did they just think about the phone after the fact, or was this purposely disconnected this time in between each other for a reason?
I just looked it up, and what it's saying is she had a Google Nest second generation, the battery powered wireless version. So it was taken off through physical tampering that broke its connection rather than through a normal app or settings change. So it was physical. So it's literally like it's hardwired type thing, I guess. I'm unsure too much about the Google Nest. No, actually, I do know a little bit because I had the Google Nest like for air conditioning. Yeah, it's pretty much hardwiring into the house, and you can connect it. But so I'm guessing they must have cut wires. I can keep going. Let's see. How was it disconnected? Okay, so the doorbell camera went offline about 1:47 at night. She vanished. 25 to 30 minutes later, the software still detected motion but did not upload a clip. What does that mean? Okay, so it was still able to detect motion. It just, they cut off the visual. Is that what it's saying? Am I reading that right?
Read it again, Mel.
So it's at about 25 to 30 minutes after it went offline, the software still detected motion but did not upload a clip. Investigators initially believed the camera had been removed or otherwise tampered with. Experts quoted in coverage explained that physically removing the Nest doorbell from its mount or cutting power connection would not stop live recording and connectivity. Okay, so they must have known what they were doing. Because if you just take it off, like if it was someone who just came and ripped it off the wall, it wasn't going, that's what it sounds like to me. It wasn't going to actually like make it stop working. So so because her model was battery powered, it retained internal power, but once Wi-Fi was cut or the unit was taken, it could no longer sync video in real time and appeared disconnected to the system. Okay, and lastly, later reporting notes that FBI and Google were able to recover stored event clips from the device's limited local on-device memory and from Google's back-end servers, despite the camera itself being physically unaccounted for. Okay, so it seems like they were still able to like pull event clips. Maybe they got some images. Maybe that's where they got.
They could extract some images from it, but that's how they got the picture of whoever it was, the masked man, by being able to do that. But real time, it wasn't in real time, was it?
I'm trying, well, based on what I'm reading, yeah, it had to be. It was in real, like it was clips from what was happening, but I guess it was just limited.
Maybe simply, how do you feel about that with the information you just said in regards to your Ring camera and having one yourself?
Can you repeat it? Oh, just slightly.
Which part?
You said, because like to me it sounds like Mel is far away.
Yes, Mel, can you unmic on here on Clubhouse next time when you talk as well? Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure if it would like
Yes,
cause
now I
feedback.
specifically because
My bad. You know what? I was not yeah, I wasn't on my on Clubhouse. Okay, so let me start over. So basically, I don't know how much you heard, but she has a Google Nest.
yeah, I heard the Google Nest part and how it was, but you said that it was wireless, but it's also hardwired connected. So I was a little confused there.
So it says it's a wireless battery model. I'm a little confused too. Listen,
Okay,
rather than
that kind of is linked to where mine's is, but I would have to actually look it up because like with mine, so it's wireless and it's just a battery that I have to charge, but it's a piece that goes on that actually has to be screwed in to hold the battery in there. So I'm about to look up the model real quick to see how they connect it.
oh, so you have a Google Nest as well?
No, I have a ring, but I have a ring camera, but it's wireless and it has a battery. So I'm assuming maybe the Google has the same situation to where it's because it would be dumb if I can literally just take it off the wall and pop the battery out. Anybody would be doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, I get you. So it was, yeah. You know what? Now that I'm rereading it, there was no. It's not like the Nest I was thinking about. Because like if I talk about the Nest for the AC and everything, it's like into the wall and it's got to be wired in and it can connect. But this was literally, yeah, it was just kind of put in by the front door, so there was no hard wiring. And I'm guessing they just unscrewed it. Still detected motion, but did not upload a clip. I'm thinking, did they just cover the camera? Like, if it's still, wait, but that doesn't even make sense either. How can it still detect motion but not upload? I don't know. Okay, wait, let me read further because there was something else that made me think that the Wi-Fi didn't get cut off until later. Because our model was battery powered, it retained internal power. But once Wi-Fi was cut or the unit was taken, it could no longer sync video in real time and appeared disconnected to the system. Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm at a loss. I'm unsure. I don't know. I don't know enough about these nests and Google things. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Okay, so let's see. Oh, she had an iPhone paired with her pacemaker app and an Apple Watch. I think I knew that actually. I don't know why I looked it up because I remember hearing Apple products. It's possible.
All right, let me read that again because the YouTube subscribers did not hear. My apologies. I had my mic muted on there. So once again, one of the comments stated that the model is attached to a frame or mount. It is secured but can be removed. They could have jammed her Wi-Fi to gain entry into the house and do the same thing with exiting. Look at the internet logs for the home router. Will tell us if her Wi-Fi was tampered with. All right. That's from our Clubhouse chat. Let's move forward. So, forensic wise, it says even if a scene is cleaned, they use luminol, right? Blood allows us to verify witness statements. So we know that we talked about there was blood evidence, which was Nancy's blood. They'll link the DNA to suspects and estimate the timeline based on whether the blood is wet, dried, or clotted. But they've already done all that and confirmed whose it is. The masked intruder and the forensic evidence. So FBI released doorbell footage of the masked and armed man carrying a black Ozark Trail backpack. Blood found on the front porch was confirmed to be Nancy's. So the presence of blood and an armed suspect shifts the narrative from wandered off to violent encounter. Now, what could be a reason that someone would want to kidnap this lady? Because at this point, it's an abduction.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking either that her daughter might have pissed off somebody. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Coco. What was her daughter investigating at this time?
That's a great question. Let's look and see. What was Savannah into at the time that her mother went missing? So this would have been at the beginning of February. Someone go back and look at, NBC's showcasing for that time frame at the beginning and what shows Savannah would have been hosting and what was the topics about. Because the question is this a targeted abduction or was it a host? At this point, I don't think it's a hoax because this lady is still missing and she's 84 years old with a pacemaker. When someone's able to find that, let's get right into it.
I'm looking, but it doesn't seem to be anything. Yeah, I don't see anything. Hold on 1 second. So there's something else playing. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so it's just that it can't find any credible reporting that she was dealing with financial problems. Public coverage focused on ransom demands in the family, offering money to get her back, not on Savannah having financial hardship. Hold on 1 second. Where am I hearing that from? Okay, good. It's gone. There was an echo. Sorry. Okay, so what multiple outlets do report is that the Guthrie's family offered a reward up to $1 million for information leading to her mother's recovery, and also announced a $500,000 donation to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They also publicly signaled willingness to pay in response to the message's ransom contact, but those statements are about securing her mother's return. So, okay, it's not financial. Maybe it's something else. Has anybody else found anything? All right. Lonnie, you seem to have disappeared. Or is it me? Okay, good. I'm like, wait, what's going on? Too many places for me to look. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Savannah got to. Um, what? Okay, so let me look into this. I'm just seeing what comes up. It said recent. Hold on, let me make sure.
Honey, I muted you, wondering because we was getting feedback.
I don't know if people on YouTube can hear if you have me muted though.
Oh, so Mel, mute.
Oh, we can. Okay, I'll go ahead and mute. Mm-hmm.
Oh, they can hear you? Okay, Mel, you can unmute.
Wait, what are we doing? We're still figuring out the technical stuff here. Bear with us, guys. Let me see. I don't see anything. Okay. NBC. Let me see. I don't see, yeah, I really don't see anything. No, nothing that they're actually putting out here, unless you guys want to dig deeper. Maybe we got to try different keywords. If anybody has anything, I'm looking in the chat. I don't know.
Sorry. I don't see anything other than that we haven't discussed, other than a political motive due to the high profile nature of her daughter in the media. Some have suggested an political motive rather than a strictly financial one.
So some of my notes here state that on February 1st, Tucson investigators believe this was intentional. Savannah Guthrie's high profile makes Nancy a high value target. So they believe that because of Savannah, this is what made her a high value target. There's a theory, it's called the contractor theory. Was it a random predator or someone with a connection to the home? A former contractor or acquaintance? There's also the Bitcoin mystery. So, purported ransom notes, and I suppose should be reported, were sent to TMZ and local stations, not the family. That lifts red flags. Former FBI agents call these notes amateurish. Amateurish. Is it a real kidnapping for ransom or a burglary gone wrong where the suspect panicked and took her?
See, that was kind of what I was thinking initially, but see, why wouldn't they take anything else though? Like nothing was taken from the home, right?
Correct. It says multimedia outlets, including TMZ, received unverified emails demanding millions in Bitcoin. The FBI is investigating if these are opportunistic scammers or the actual abductor himself.
Do y'all think she's still alive?
I'm gonna be honest. I
I
don't.
don't think she's alive either, and I think she's not alive by accident. I think Shorty had a heart attack. Because how else would they know she had a pacemaker? And why they disconnected? She might have been going through something and told them she had a pacemaker.
That is a good thing to think about, Coco. Yes. Because between 147 and 228, her pacemaker was still connected, right? And then all of a sudden it was disconnected, or at least the app was disconnected from the app. But the question would be, does it show anywhere that there was any activity on that pacemaker app between that time of increased heart rates or something of that nature?
That's what I read. I read that it was they had a spike and then it was disconnected. I think they killed her and then had to take her to try to still get range. So a spike would 9 times out of 10 mean that it shocked her due to the fact that her heart was having irregular heartbeat. Exactly. Something scared her. Whether it was scared her to death, pacemaker people are sensitive hearts.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think she died the night they abducted her. And
I agree.
Because how would they know to connect it? That's what, unless she got kidnapped by somebody close to her. Do we know when she got his pacemaker put in?
We can try to see. No, I don't have information on how long she's been wearing the pacemaker for.
Because I tried to look it up and I couldn't find it either. But it sounds like a newer version because my dad had a pacemaker and the system that he was connected to was a phone that you plugged into the wall like a regular house phone.
Okay, so Bluetooth frequency to sync diagnostic data with an iPhone app, or an Apple Watch. But disconnection happens easily since the connection is proximity based and intermittent to save battery. So, okay, so what they're basically what it's saying is, did they? So because Nancy's phone and Apple Watch stayed home, her pacemaker lost Bluetooth connection. So what could have happened, assuming that she wasn't, hadn't already passed, was that they had already taken her before 228. And because she was so far from her phone and her watch, but wait, the phone and the watch were home? Yes? Did they find the phone and the watch? I don't remember. Anyway, the point is, that could be what happened too. So it could be, it's just based on proximity to the devices. So because she was far away from them, it could have been that. So that's, I mean, like I said, I kind of feel like with all the blood, it's possible that she may not be with us. As sad as it is.
A better understanding of how the pacemakers work and how they're geolocated. I mean, they ain't no doctor, so.
So one of our comments says that they feel like the kidnappers are familiar with the family, feels personal more than political. I kind of feel like if it's not, yeah, someone is familiar with the family. I kind of feel that way. I don't really think it's random. I'm not with the random thing, the random burglary thing, because I mean, even though she's someone's famous as mother, I mean, people may not know who she is, but people should know who she is if they follow NBC, because Savannah has all type of pictures with her mom all out there, right? So if you know who Savannah is, you probably would know who her mom is as well in a certain aspect if you follow her. Um, yeah, this is
I
sad.
wonder if she had a recent breakup with an ex-boyfriend or something like that.
Hmm. You mean in Savannah?
Yes.
That's a good question, because going into the talking point number 4, there was $1 million plea. As of February 24th, which was just a week ago, Savannah offered $1 million reward. She admitted in a heartbreaking video she may already be gone. Dancing in heaven was her statement. So there's a thing called the 24-day wall and the nuclear option. So it says the stall. We're now on March 1st, 1 month in, and we've hit the 24-day wall. What is the wall? It's the 3 to 4 week mark where CCTV leads dry up, forensic hits in federal databases come back empty, and media interest starts to fade. It says the $1 million nuclear option. The Guthrie family massive reward is a strategic move to break the code of silence inside information. This isn't for the general public, it's for the inner circle. It incentivizes someone close to the perpetrator to flip. The risk, the reward, this size triggers a flood of false leads, forcing the FBI to spend precious hours vetting out money seekers versus real tips that are coming to them.
I was just reading something on hold on one second. I gotta remember to unmute Clubhouse. I was reading something about them using digital forensics. So they're trying to figure out if they can capture the abductor via cell phone data, which is interesting. So I don't know where that's going to go. I'm trying to see what the most recent information on this was.
Also,
but yeah,
she had a pacemaker. Did she have to medicate every day?
That's a great question. That I didn't see she was needing any type of prescription medicine, but I would definitely say yes, because if she's had that surgery for a pacemaker to be implanted, that means she's most likely already had some type of heart problems, cardio issues, and normally they're on some type of medication. Let's see if we can find any details if she has been or not. I'm going to say yeah. Just knowing my own personal family's experience and everything, yes. So, Mel, are you looking into that now?
Yes, I am. I was looking into it.
Guys.
Okay, let me see. Because you know what I wanted to know? I wanted to know whether or not they said nothing was so I was like, was it possible that some medications were taken? I doubt it. Like that would be really nice if your kidnappers. Let me make sure you have all your medications while we take you. But everything. And so she requires daily meds, but none appear to have been popped or removed. I mean, I did ask her that just on an off chance. They were like, "Oh, the medications were taken as well," but kind of knew they weren't. But yeah, she does. And so that's even crazier because it's been literally as of today, it's been a month, right? I mean, I know February is a short month, but yeah.
Yep, it's been a month.
Yes, it's been 1 month. That's correct. Mhm.
Damn. So she could have heart-related drugs she likely needs. Blood pressure. So like they manage hypertension, stroke, heart attack risks rise over days. Blood thinners, 5%. Annual stroke risk jumps sharply. Antiarrhythmics. Okay. So control irregular heartbeat, tachycardia, fast HR, or bradycardia, slow HR, dizziness, shortness of breath. These are not the ones, I'm not confirming that these are the ones she was taking. These are some of what experts say she might need. I don't know that like we got a list from her family of what she needs on a daily basis.
Okay, let me read another chat comment here, Mel. It says that reports were found that says she requires daily medicine, as you said, for her heart, including a pacemaker and high blood pressure. So if they didn't take her medication, unfortunately, it is possible that she may not be here with us. And this is what her daughter has, it seems like, has started, and the family starting to brace themselves with, is that it's a possibility once she's found that she's going to already be unalive. Unfortunately, this is so sad. We do have a couple clips here that I'd like to play just for us to hear the press conference information regarding the disappearance. So I want to play that here. Just a moment.
Are we gonna play it on here too and stream it through?
Just a moment. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there for now. He stated that they don't see this so much as a search mission, but a crime scene. That tells me they already know. They just don't really want to release as much information at that point in time because this was earlier in the disappearance of her versus right now. What thoughts do y'all have on what we've heard so far?
I think he's also carrying it like that mainly because she's somebody in media. So if he don't carry it a certain way, she won't eat him alive. And I think he know that because he sounded real careful. Real careful.
He did. And if you're watching it, you can tell by the demeanor as well that he's being very careful also in what he's saying. And his body language is saying, you know, he might be a tidbit uncomfortable with a few of the questions that's being asked, to be honest with you. Any of our other hosts have input on this?
I agree. I definitely think they know something that they're not saying. I think they may be waiting on some more information to come or something. I don't know. It's necessarily know why, because it's kind of like they're in a standstill right now. So, I mean, it's kind of obvious. They just don't want to say it.
I definitely have felt
since the beginning. Like it just didn't seem good. You know what? It was definitely the idea of the one at the crime scene. And she's an 84-year-old woman who already is a cake Like all of these things made me feel like I don't know. I didn't want to do it. I'm just talking to around me. Like I think about that. Like a woman, her family. But yeah, I think they're not trying to find who killed her. That's where I think it's going. I think that's what he was trying to say.
Pretty much, yeah. That's what I got from it.
Okay. How do y'all feel about this whole? Because you know they feel like it's speculation with this whole Bitcoin ransom thing. Like, why would you think someone? Do you think that that's just someone that was just trying to throw off the case, or that there's really a ransom out there and someone really is asking for this Bitcoin, even though they didn't pay it?
I think that the ransom was real, but they no longer have proof of life, so they can't get it anymore.
Yeah, because I thought the Bitcoin was more or less just because it's untrackable type thing. So that's why they was using the Bitcoin. But yeah, I agree with Coco.
That does make sense to me as well. This whole case, though, is just when first and foremost, we always want the missing to be brought home, even if they are no longer with us. For families to have no understanding of what's really happening or to know where their loved one is at, that's one of the worst things ever. Sometimes just bringing that closure to them, even if the person is no longer with us, can help close up some of that wondering, where is my 84-year-old mother at? And is she okay? Is she still alive? I mean, it's heart-wrenching, really.
Yeah, like I said, it just made me sad. This poor family. 84 years old.
Daughter's finances or her son's finances.
Is Nancy, or yeah, that's her only daughter?
No, she got a son too. They said the children. So I read in some article that it was her son or something. I think she got a son. I think she got 2 daughters and a son, but right now, son and daughter.
So Savannah has money. That's the daughter, because she's the one that offered the $1 million reward. Now, Whether it came all from her or it's a collective from the family, it doesn't really say. And I know she's representing the family with it, but my assumption is with her lengthy time of working with NBC and the type of cases that she has covered and stuff, that she's probably the one that has presented the $1 million reward herself. She's also the one that's been given all the statements. So her statement was she may already be gone, dancing in heaven.
Yeah, that just sucked. That's crazy.
It is. And we want to keep prayers up if you're a praying person or positive thoughts or whatever it is you can for this lady. We don't ever want to see anyone taken out of this lifetime in such a horrific way or anything of that nature. But the indication of blood, her pacemaker being disconnected, the spike in the activity in the pacemaker before it was disconnected, and just from the statement of the police department there and the FBI and everything, is that, you know, it's a possibility that she's no longer with us. The agony that Savannah is describing, that not knowing, as I was saying before, is a weight that no family should carry. But as we've seen this month, sometimes the silence of a search is broken by the news you dread most. While the Guthrie family is still fighting for answers, another family in the music world just had their worst fears confirmed. We're now going to segue into our other part of this here segment. On February 3rd, 27-year-old Nathan Smith, also known as DJ Young Slade, ran out of his Milton, Georgia home at 6 a.m. without his phone. Police described him as disoriented. DJ Young Slade is also the son of famous rapper Little John. As we get into this story, let's remember that you just never know what's going to happen, y'all. And this at the end will teach us about the use of certain things and how we should just make sure that we are protecting ourselves in all manners of life the way that we can here. With him leaving the way that he did, this left the family without any type of way to reach him. And it also raised that red flag. So it says that there was a multi-agency search and then there was a discovery. Getting into this here, Mel, would you like to start off with some of the information that you have? Or simply, I know that you've done some research into this here case as well.
Do you want me to let them know? You want me to say what we just found out for a little further in?
Yes, let's go ahead. We're going to just dive into his story here with all talking points and discuss everything. Mel has some information so you guys can kind of, feed off of each other with what we're talking about.
No, you want, because I don't got mine pulled up right now. You want to read the timeline that when he first went missing to the timeline of him actually coming out, and then we can get into the deeper details.
Yeah, and I think the details that you have are the same ones that I found out too. It was funny, we get the same thing. But I'm gonna I'm gonna just go down. So he was born in
1998 or not.
hold on one second.
I have feedback. Sorry.
Why is I think it's that. Let me see. Okay. Oh, better. That was crazy. Technical difficulties. Okay, so DJ Young Slade, real name Nathan Murray Smith, was 27 years old, son of rapper Little John, as Lonnie already indicated. And I mean, I guess we can just go into the whole thing. He tragically died in early February 2026 after going missing from his home in Milton, Georgia. Born around 1998, 1999 in Atlanta to Little John, Jonathan Smith, and Nicole Smith, Nathan contributed toddler vocals to his father's 2000 track, Bia Bia. I don't know that song. He appeared in commercials as a child and was inspired to. Oh, okay. Yeah, now it's coming back to me. Okay, so he was inspired to DJ at age 10 after watching Little John at an after party. At 13, he graduated from Scratch DJ Academy, the youngest in his class, and toured as DJ for Zendaya the next year. Okay. So his music career. Smith, who went by DJ Young Slade or Slade, graduated from NYU's Tisch School of the Arts in 2020 with a focus on recorded music. He worked as a DJ at clubs, weddings, and parties in LA and Atlanta, co-produced tracks like Saweetie's Get a Girl in 2021, and released music including his 2020 album Move Through Fire, the single Feels in 2025, and SoundCloud tracks like Uzi Shoulder Move. He collaborated with artists connected to his father, appeared on MTV's Family Legacy in 2025, and built a reputation for innovative mixes across hip hop, trap, and house. So that was a little bit about his life. We can go into his disappearance and death, cause, and family response. But I don't know if you wanted to take over from here simply. That was just his early life. So if you didn't know anything about DJ Young Slade, that should give you a little bit of info on who he was and what he did. And yeah, does anybody have any comments on that before we move on?
For the YouTubers, those will be in the final posting of this live at the end for you. But I did see that this was something that he's always wanted to do as a child. And his father, he stated in one of the clips that I saw him speak about his journey as being a celebrity kid, is that his father never put pressure on him to be in the music industry. This is a love that he had all on his own just from growing up. And even though his dad told him he can be whatever he wants to be, he still wanted to be in the music industry.
Okay, guys, so I'm just gonna get into the timeline of what happened when he went missing. So he went missing he left the house abruptly on February 3rd around 6 a.m. He didn't take his phone, he didn't take anything with him. We also got reports where we were not 100% sure if this is actually true because it didn't say it in the news, but there is a hood anchor out here in the city of Atlanta who also followed up on this. And the information he got was he was also undressed when he left. So he left the house. He was missing for about 3 days, and then they did end up finding his body. Canine unit team and divers found his body in a pond. It was about, it doesn't say exactly how far it was from his actual house, but he was found 3 days later in the pond. Information was just released a few days ago stating that he also may have possibly been on a substance, mushrooms, and he may have had a bad trip, which kind of would make sense to why we got the information of him being unclothed when he ran out his house. Anybody want to add to what I just let you guys know?
I definitely found the same information. Obviously, I think when we went to look, it came out on the same day. Yeah, it says the Fulton County Medical Examiner rules his death accidental drowning in the setting of psilocybin use, hallucinogenic mushrooms. On February 26, 2026, the plan showed water exposure. Yeah, I'm not sure why they noted that. The part about his hands showing a prolonged water exposure, it threw me the first time I saw it, and it's throwing me now. Like, I mean, I get it.
Usually when they indicate that is just to confirm how that he's been in the water for enough time for him to have those what was the hands that they called him last time?
Oh, you're right.
Old lady hands, yeah. Washer hands, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, washerwoman hands, right? Which is an indication that someone's been submerged in water for certain periods of time or over a certain period of time.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, it's sad. He just
I also want to speak to the fact of him being diagnosed with a mental. They didn't state exactly what type of mental illness he had, but he was diagnosed with a mental illness, and being the fact that he also possibly was self-medicating with those mushrooms could have caused the bad trip.
So yes, I did see that it indicated that he had used some shrooms, and they believe that's what caused him to run out and become disoriented. Now, I've only done those things once in my lifetime, maybe twice, I can't remember. But knowing this, I was always told that when you doing it, you should have someone around you just in case something doesn't go the way that you expect it to. And it sounds like maybe he might have been microdosing on his own.
Well, microdosing isn't gonna send you on a bad trip. And let me start by saying I am not advocating for the use of any kind of psychogenic drugs, hallucinogenic drugs. I am not. However, my understanding is that you would need to be on a pretty substantial amount. So it wouldn't have been something where he was doing it for like mental health. It would have been party if he went on a bad trip. Now, if he was just microdosing, then I personally wouldn't think that would be the cause of what got him in that water. That's just my opinion. So yeah, not microdosing.
Do some real time research in it just to look and see what the side effects could be. Let's look and see.
Also really quick, just so basically, it doesn't specify If it was a large dose, because that's what I wanted to know, whether it was
Microdosing,
he
or
just
they just took a
dose.
dose.
But the autopsy confirmed psilocybin. So it wasn't his bloodstream. It doesn't say how much. Um, so it's been closed as drowning in the setting of psilocybin use with the manner ruled accidental. Um, so then they said, okay, a presumptive positive for cannabinoids alongside psilocybin. Um, oh, psilocin, which is psilocybin's active metabolite. But no quantitative levels have been read, so released at least, and did not deem it toxic or lethal on its own. The phrasing implies it contributed
To
to
his
disorientation, leading to
disorientation,
the
calm
panic.
down, but
Those
exactly which remains undisclosed.
Right. So I guess like where you can have altered perception of time and space or visual and auditory hallucinations, they're saying that that's a potential that him being on it caused him to not possibly know that he was near water like that. I don't know. Mm. We know the family wanted this to be private at first, so I believe that they might have known, him dealing with potential mental health issues, and then possibly him, using um, shrooms. This is a little difficult.
Well, I also wanted to check and see where there's an
there's no confirmed reports that he
he
had
had
any
any
illness
illness.
or difficulty. When was reported missing, the president is referring to possibly morbid, mainly okay. Could be an urgent need of psychiatric help. When was reported missing? Okay, talking public speculation on social media about potential undiagnosed issues like schizophrenia or a mental health break. Some outlets and YouTube reports claim his disappearance as tied to a mental health crisis, but this was not substantiated beyond the initial alert. So, most likely he didn't, but I mean, we can't rule it out completely. I just want to put that out there because it looks like it was more, speculation from news sources and news pages, possibly. Yeah. So his family emphasized his kindness and talent without referencing any mental health history. Why would they, right? I mean, I can't imagine like them. Why would they put that out there anyway? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. In terms of that, I just want to make sure that we're not like adding to any kind of like, whatever, things that aren't true, basically. But yeah, carry on. Anybody else have anything?
Okay. Hold on just a sec.
While we're waiting on Lonnie. Oh, never mind. You're here. Okay, got
No, go ahead. This is
No,
not a
I was
clip.
just
This is a read, so we're gonna leave that for the viewers to read on their time. Go right ahead.
okay. No, I was just gonna fill the time while you're getting ready to play it. But now, okay. So if it isn't, you wanna read it, or you wanna let them read it? Should we read it?
No, we'll let them. I have another clip I'm loading up.
Okay. Okay, so let's see. We've gone over whether there was mental illness and whether we think the psilocybin played a role. Apparently, he also they noted a presumptive positive, whatever that means. So I'm guessing he had been dabbling in marijuana as well. So cannabinoids alongside the psilocin, which is psilocybin's active metabolite. So so I'm just gonna give my opinion once again. I don't know if I think that if he was microdosing, right? But maybe he was just on because that was the whole thing initially, like saying that it might have been for mental health, because people do microdose psilocybin mushrooms for certain stress and whatever. So I don't know if that's true. But does anybody have any thoughts on that? Are you ready? Or should I allow? I'll look in the chat. I could read your type of comment. Go
The
ahead.
clip that I have is just a part of the story of when he was found in the Milton Pond. All right. So if you were able to look at those visuals on YouTube, you would see the lake or the pond, ain't it? Lake. It's a small little pond right back there, and you wouldn't even think that that pond could be something that someone would. But we don't know how deep it went or anything of that nature. This is really a sad situation.
I was thinking that too, Laney. Like, dang, it literally just looked like a small pond. It don't look like it's super deep or anything. So that was weird to me too.
But the circumstances of being, under the influence of something, what the weather conditions were, like the lady said on there, it potentially was cold, and it was just a lot of different things, I guess, that could have, unfortunately added up to that. Is something.
Not gonna lie, I hate the neighbor that they chose to speak. The one at the end, she sounded so careless. The one that found her but said she seen a body.
Yeah, and if you saw the look on her face, she looked even more careless about what she was saying. Like she just wanted to give the news a report, not that she really, I don't know. Ooh.
And there's always you just want to be involved on the news. I mean, yeah, it's sad. This is sad. I think what's really so if you are looking at the Mila note and the Facebook post, just the pictures, it's heartbreaking. It's literally interior. Like I can't even imagine what they're going through right now. There's a picture of little John, Queen Latifah, and he's breaking down. This is just a really sad story. Yeah. But yeah, if you do go through some of the articles we have, and you'll see some of what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay.
Never know when your last day is going to be, guys. Mm, 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 mm. Looking at him while he did these interviews. Go ahead, Mel.
Go ahead. I was messing with things. Go ahead.
I was just saying that, looking at the video of him talking and everything, he generally seemed like he was a happy person, and that he was loving what he was doing in life. When he was in the studio, he looked the happiest. So I'm wondering if this was just a tragic accident, just like it is. And what are y'all thoughts about the family when initially they were asked, they're asking for privacy instead of giving any more information on finding him? Do you guys think that they might have already known that this might end up being the way that it was? What are your thoughts on that?
I think they actually didn't want privacy because of the speculation of, the internet is an evil place, and they was going around with that mental health stuff. So I feel like they probably didn't really want that out there. Yeah, I'm along the same lines. I feel like they, because they are a high profile family, period, they would want people to kind of give them their privacy, because so many speculations were going to be out there, and so many interviewers. You know how it happens when the whole high profile case is brought to light. So
that is, both of those insights are great insights. And as someone in our comments says, it's pretty common to want privacy. I agree. It is common to want privacy. Unfortunately, we know that in some cases, though, privacy is not an option when it's like the time is ticking. But yeah.
Also, it's a thing where the world feels that they are required to know what's going on with everybody's business. So the respect of privacy is no longer there.
That's a fact, Tiger. That is a fact. And that was D-Real and Tiger that was speaking, just so you know who all our hosts are here on the stage. We have Simply, we have Balconies, Coco, and Miss Mill. Mel, did you have something that you want to go ahead and say before we start winding this down?
I mean, I feel like everything has been said. It's just sad. It made me sad because he's so young, and then just listening to the video, and I don't know. It made my heart hurt for Little John and his family, and just all the people who knew him. Because he seemed like a good kid. Like he seemed like he had his whole life ahead of him, and I just don't know if I believe that. I mean, maybe it was. Maybe it was the weed and the psilocybin together. I don't know. But yeah, let's just end with that. This is what they're saying. The end is that it was there was no foul play. Initially, I just assumed it had to be, but maybe it was just a horrible accident. Maybe I don't want it to be. I'm like, no, there had to be something else. He didn't do this to himself. So by with the mushrooms and the
I don't know. It's just sad.
I don't know. It's just sad. I'm processing it in my head right now, like, oh,
we're winding down.
We're winding down.
Are there any other thoughts?
Finish up here.
Man, I just want you to know that I was thinking the same thing. I just was maybe looking for something else to be a reason why, but yeah, it sucks. It's a horrible situation, but I agree with you though.
All right, guys, as we're closing out this show here, we do have our next podcast teaser, our next episode. We have a rising star, a young woman gone far too soon, and a sudden turn in the investigation that has everyone asking the same question. What really happened to Celeste Rivas Hernandez? On our next episode, we're going to break down the timeline, the evidence, and why singer David D4VD is now the prime suspect, and what this means for the case moving forward. You don't want to miss this one. The story is shifting and the truth is starting to surface, okay? We have two families, two searches. One ended in a heartbreak that is now a memory, and one is still an open wound. If you do have any information on the Nancy Guthrie case, please call 1-800, call FBI. Don't let the silence continue. Hey, hey, hey. All right. Recap time. Everybody can come up as they want. All right. Great show, guys. Great show.